thing about Joey Hamilton is they call his stuff electric. 19 home runs, but he has really been able to curtail a home run in his last 17 starts. 184 strikeouts. He is a power pitcher. His fastball will be up into the mid-90s. Good curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Down the right field was Blank in front of Tony Gwynn. So Royce Clayton is aboard. Royce Clayton came into a tough situation here this year. Supposedly to replace, and one day he will replace, a legend and certainly a civic treasure. And speaking of which, Willie McGee isn't that far behind Ozzie Smith in the civic treasure category, Buck.
Well, Willie McGee is taking over in center field today, and you can see a very appreciative Cardinal crowd here recognizing McGee as he steps into the box.
His second tour of duty as a Cardinal has been a big success. McGee playing, as Buck pointed out, because of Ray Lankford's injury in center field. He is on the roster if you missed it earlier. They hope by the weekend he will at least be able to pinch hit. Royce Clayton can move. McGee won the MVP in 1985. Remember in 1982 when he was a rookie, Game 3 against the Brewers in the World Series, Buck? 2 homers and 2 spectacular catches. He endeared himself to St. Louis crowds immediately, and they've never forgotten.
Well, anytime you have that kind of success in the postseason, people are going to remember for a long time. And they were very happy to see McGee come back here in this role-playing situation.
Breaking ball, the McGee slice is foul. McGee won 2 batting titles here, but the second one is odd. He won, of course, in '85 his MVP season. He won also in 1990. But just before the September 1st, he became an Oakland A to join Tony La Russa. But his average stood up there and nobody could catch him. He won the batting title in absentia in the National League. Ground ball to Jody Reed. Gomez on to Joyner. Double play. Taylor-made.
Jody Reed, a veteran infielder here, enjoying this tandem. Chris Gomez came over in that deal with the Tigers. And Clayton is retired on the double play. Willie McGee hits it sharply, but right on the ground at Reed. He takes it with the easy underhand toss to Chris Gomez coming across the bag. And that's a huge double play for Joey Hamilton to enable him to settle in here a little bit in the first.
That'll bring up Ron Gant. 30 home runs this year, 82 RBIs. No stranger to the postseason. We've been with the Braves. The young Braves arrived really in the way the Padres. Oh! Wow, that one just didn't break, didn't move, moved right into Gant's back. So each pitcher has hit a batter in the first inning. Welcome to October, boys.
Well, neither one of these managers or the pitchers are timid. Todd Stottlemyre in the American League was well known about his ability to come inside and get you with a little chin music. This is a fastball. He dropped down and hit Ron again right on the pocket. Maybe trying to send some messages early.
Yeah, if you're going to send one, nobody on with 2 outs. Well, it just looked like it didn't move on. And this is Brian Jordan, who would like to make Hamilton pay for it. Jordan, a former Atlanta Falcon defensive back who once was an alternate to the Pro Bowl in '92. I mean, this is a serious football player who had to make his choice eventually and chose baseball. And you've seen this coming for years, but this year was his bust-out season. Not as if he hadn't produced before, but this year the personable Jordan told everyone that, you know, what could have been a real good football player, and who knows, but he certainly didn't make a mistake coming to this point. We should point out he had 22 homers and 296 last year against the Ribbies. So it's not a surprise. But he's really a leader on this team.
Well, yeah, he became Tony La Russa's kind of liaison in the locker room. And La Russa said, you know what, he was a lot like Dave Stewart and Dave Henderson I had in Oakland. Now they could really go to the rest of the team and try to get my message across.
Here's some heat that Jordan couldn't come up with. 90-mile-an-hour heat.
You know, that's important, that mile per hour, because the Padres feel that Hamilton is better when he's just over 90, because then he's not muscling the ball. When he muscles it and gets it up about 95, 96, it has a tendency to straighten out.
Well, he may have surgery after the season. He has the tender arm, and the best thing that happened to them was at least getting into the playoffs on Saturday and giving Hamilton a couple extra days rest so that he did not have to go on Sunday in Los Angeles. Play in the upper deck. Now, this is a bizarre series, Buck, and fans, this is the only one where there's 2 days off, barring rainouts. Game in St. Louis today, game in St. Louis Thursday, games in San Diego Saturday, Sunday, Monday. The reason we bring it up is that 7 days to play the 5 games, and if the Padres were in trouble, Hamilton could come back and work game 4 in this series, but with decent rest. Where normally that'd be out of the question.
Well, Ronnie Gant's somebody that Joey Hamilton has to keep his eye on. He's 13 for 17 this year. Obviously, both of these clubs looking to get an early advantage.
Again, obviously not the speed and the wheels on the base paths that he once was, when he twice was a 30-30 man for the Braves. But still, he understands the art of base stealing. And the Cardinals will run and certainly test Brian Johnson. That's something I'm sure Tony La Russa will do at every opportunity he has, Buck.
Yeah, Brian Johnson is playing because John Flaherty sprained his ankle Saturday. And he is on the roster, but not quite ready yet.
Ripped up the middle, base hit for Jordan. Gant will stop at second base as Finley, as usual, charges the ball quickly. But now, as the Padres did in the first, the Cardinals have 2 aboard.
Pretty good hitting with 2 strikes. Brian Jordan, showing his maturity, just goes right back up the middle and puts the ball in play. That chases Ronnie Gant to second. Take a look at this swing. The ball is in on him a bit. He fights it off and drives it up the middle. Pretty good 2-strike approach. Ronnie Gant is going into second base thinking about maybe third base, but Finley comes up with a cleaner.
When the Cardinals beat the Padres 8 of 12 this year, the man at the plate, Gary Gaetti, has done the damage. 5 home runs against the Padres this year. And every guy on the Padres, from the players to the coaches, started shaking their heads when Gaetti's name came up. There's a good pitch.
Now, they got the slider down and away, and at this point, Joey Hamilton, with that good fastball, is going to force Gary Gaetti to kind of guess with him. Here, it looked like Gaetti was thinking fastball, and you see how badly he missed that slider.
Hits this one to right center field. Back goes Finley. Back he goes. Gone! The G-Man has done it again. 6 home runs now for Gary Gaetti against the Padres this season. He just sits on fastballs or waits for a breaking ball that doesn't break. Whatever it is, he's in the zone. The Padres feared him, and for good reason.
It looked like another breaking ball, maybe a changeup. It looked like a changeup that he reached for on the outer half of the plate. You can see that he thinks he's got a chance all the way down to the first base bag. And then when he sees it go over the wall, the Cardinals have an early 3-run lead.
A little looper behind shortstop that Gomez snares, so John may be retired. But when the Padres could not come through, Gaetti comes through. 3-run home run for the G-Man. 3-0 St. Louis.